Let that music roll. We're back, baby. Monday after a big weekend. And oh, what's that? Oh, the shades are back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're back.
That's right.
The shades are back. I even got a new pair of shades for the occasion because it feels so good to be off the schneid. The cold streak is over.
Gone.
Hashtag fade RK. It's put away. The hashtag has been burned because your boy has returned. I'm back on top. Not really, but I was on top this weekend. A little 8-6 on the weekend. Boom. You know what? That means you won money. You know, 7-6,
sure does.
You could be a little, depending on the juice on some of your bets, you never know. But 8-6, that's a profitable weekend.
That's right.
So a huge thank you to everyone who faded me. You have a part in this. You did your job. You faded me. You got rid of all the bad juju. Some of you profited off of it. And the last fade picks I gave out were 2-2. So you didn't even, it didn't hurt that, like even if you faded me then, you're okay still. So anyways.
You never gave me that 0-4 night that I needed to really make money on the parlays as I was fading.
I didn't have any offers.
I know. It sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't hit any of the parlays.
It doesn't suck for me. I can't handle too many zero firsts.
Yeah.
But I came back. So part of the way that I had to end my pain was I had to be a little secretive about my picks. I couldn't give all out here. So where I really came back was I followed you on most of the UFC picks, and that helped me. I put them down. I was right next to you. I said, here are my official picks. That's how you make them count for the show when you don't announce them on the show. And we did well. The only thing that, really hurt us was that our guy Blaydes couldn't get it done in the first 2 rounds, but that's okay. We had the fight before it, Josh Emmett. I mean, wow, what a freaking fight that was.
That was absolute insanity. I haven't seen that it's come out yet. It's very possible that Josh Emmett busted his ACL in that lead leg, on that lead knee in the first 2 rounds. And he was hobbled most of that fight. It was crazy. And yet he's still, like, you would see him get kicked, kind of hobbled back, and then come right back with another overhand. That guy was incredible. Shane Burgess going against him was almost just as incredible. I had that fight going under 2.5 rounds and was absolutely going crazy at the bar at like 2:35 in the third when Emmett knocked him down, but then wasn't able to close it out. That did go to a decision. That was just an incredible co-main event. So that the prop didn't hit, but the money line did for one of the bigger underdogs to win on the night. And that was kind of the story of the night for me, is the money lines I absolutely killed, except for Roosevelt Roberts. So I went 5-1. But then all those props I had, this smaller cage, the more knockouts and all that, just didn't come through for me. So a bit of a bummer. I almost ended up fading myself. So that 5-5 in the UFC, but 5-1 on the money line picks.
Yeah, it's that's why you gotta stick to what you're good at. Just pick the fighters. That's basically what I did. The only prop I took was Blaydes in the first 2 rounds. I really stuck with the fighters. And then, the good thing is you missed that Roosevelt Roberts pick, but you get the fight night protection from DraftKings. So you get it right back with a free bet, which is always great. So that is great. That was the fight, maybe the fight of our time covering UFC.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's going to be in contention for fight of the year, and really short of maybe the greatest fight in UFC history, this female bout for the championship. And it's Polish against the Chinese. I'm really bad at pronouncing both their names. This would be the fight of the year if it wasn't for that fight already going down this season. So, it was just an incredible bout from 2 absolute warriors. Two guys I can't wait to watch again real soon.
Yeah, Emmett might be my new favorite fighter.
Yeah, he's up there, man. He's up there.
I mean, he's a home run hitter. I absolutely love it. And Brandon Spano, he was watching with us at the DNVR bar. Shout out to everyone who came down to the DNVR bar.
Yeah,
I mean, I really needed that. The energy of a bar cheering things on, I needed it. But Brandon, being the boxing enthusiast, was not loving the fact that Emmett wasn't landing all these punches. One thing I realized, though, in that fight is you can do damage in UFC without direct hits. Smashing a dude's hands into his face still was, he was cut, he was bleeding, his lip was bleeding because he got punched, his own hand got hit into his own mouth. Right. So great fight there. And then our guy Blaydes puts out a dominant performance for a couple rounds, but not in the dominating way that people love to see.
Yeah.
It wasn't the most entertaining fight in the world. I won't even be a homer there. It really dragged on for the last 2 rounds.
Yes.
But he gets the win. He gets the win, not in the fashion that we thought. In fact, not the fashion that anyone thought. Going the distance was plus 450 in that fight. And, we wish we would have had that one. But still a great fight for Blaydes.
Great. I mean, to do what he did to Volkov, and this was such an interesting matchup. I probably didn't hammer this point home enough in our preview. This was the matchup of the heavyweight fighter with the most takedowns per round in Blaydes against the best takedown defense in the entire heavyweight division in Volkov. And yet Blaydes just went ham. 24 takedown attempts. I think he got 14. Which is absolutely
all-time
insane.
Record in a heavyweight fight.
And so he dominates round 1. I think significant strikes was something like 42-3 because he made Volkov. He said what he would. He did what he said he would do. Just ragdolled Volkov, tossed him to the ground, controlled him. Just was never in danger. The second round seems to set up so perfectly, because then Blaydes knows Volkov's really scared that he's going to take him down. Blaydes just starts, flashing his fist and his ability to strike with a guy like Volkov. And then as soon as Volkov started to get hit, took him down again. And it was like, oh, this is going to be easy money. And that strategy just wasn't as effective. I think Blaydes got tired. I think Blaydes didn't expect Volkov to be as strong in his lower body to still handle and, defend 8 of those takedown attempts. And then, man, by the end of the 4th, as I was getting distracted, you told me, oh boy, what's going on here? Like, we're in trouble. He got stunned by a knee or a punch. I've rewatched it. I can't even quite find the strike that did Blaydes in, but the end of the 4th was kind of a sweat it out. And then the 5th was a tough one to watch.
Yeah, and Blaydes admitted it after the fight. He just wasn't in good enough condition.
Yeah,
and it takes I was proud of him for admitting that, because it was clear.
Yeah.
He didn't expect that fight to go past 3 rounds. He was not prepared for it, and as soon as it did, he was fighting a battle against himself. Yeah. Not against Volkov, but against his own conditioning, and it was really tough to watch. Almost as tough to watch as his interview after the fight, where he was still, looking like someone who got off the couch and tried to run a marathon without training for it.
Yeah, that interview after the fight was tough, man. Real tough.
But he gets the win.
Huge win.
2-0 as a DNVR fighter, 4-0 in his last 4.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. What's next for him? Certainly didn't do himself any favors with Dana White, who went after him after the fight, which was kind of uncalled for, in my opinion. But hey, Dana White's gonna Dana White. What can you do?
That's exactly right. Yep.
What else did we? Oh, and here we go. Here's the view from the DNVR bar.
Counting it down.
There we go. That's that energy I was talking about. I hadn't felt that in a while. I had not felt that in a while.
I'm taking a big sigh at the end of that one.
Yeah. It was It would have been more fun to count down like a submission attempt. Or
I
something.
know that would have been really nice. Yeah, man.
Anyways, it was a great time.
Yeah.
Again, thanks to everyone who came down. Okay,
Totally.
other things on the weekend. So we did well in UFC.
Yep.
I go 1-0 in the EPL.
Amazing.
With my Wolves.
You saved me.
Yeah, there you go. I had Wolves plus 115, and I was telling you all about my guy, Adama Traore.
Yeah.
He doesn't start. And so thankfully I didn't take that first goal prop, although they didn't score while he wasn't in the game. And you're seeing this as a little bit of a trend right now in the Premier League. Teams are letting some of these fast twitch players ease their way in. Aguero doesn't start for his team. Traore doesn't start for his team. I think there was an Arsenal guy who didn't start as well. And I think they're easing them in, give them 20-minute bursts at a time to try and, make sure these guys don't pull any of those fast twitch muscles or, a hammy or whatever. So anyways, 0-0, 67th minute, I think, is when Traore comes in. And instant impact. I mean, you've got this guy. He looks like a linebacker, runs like Philip Lindsay.
Yeah.
And just maybe 5 minutes into his stint, goes does the little hezzy, and then burns by his man, lays in a perfect cross to the guy who I said would be the other guy to score the first goal, Raul Jimenez.
You nailed it.
Perfect. As easy of a header as you'll ever have. Puts it in the back. Then minutes later, Traore again just cuts through the defense, lays it off, and then they have another goal, which definitely goal of the weekend.
Right.
Probably top 3 goals of the year. Just a left-footed volley, upper 90, right corner. I mean, just everything you could ever dream of in a goal. So my Wolves 2-0 over West Ham. And if our guys from Broncos Europe are listening, take that.
Booyah. Yeah, the coordination and balance to strike that at full speed at lefty and put it top corner was just amazing. Thank God for that, though, because the EPL devastated me. It's we got sucked into these props, and the props killed me. I had Leicester City with the money line. They go up miraculously at the 90th minute, only to get tied up at the 93rd. So there went that. My props for that game down the drain. Arsenal does the same thing to me. They go up 1-0, only to get not only tied up, but then beat in the final 15 minutes. Thank God I went back to the well with the Bundesliga and took Dortmund at a plus 200. Of course, our guy Haaland was huge in that, so big win there. And then I texted you because I was down a couple units on the weekend. And I said, hey, I'm seeing this great value bet on Real Madrid. It just gone down lower than minus 140. It was like in the high 130s. I said, I'll take that. A bit of a controversial win. I watched that. The good people at Xfinity have made it impossible for me to watch Liga games. So it was a little tough streaming this on the computer. But, there was an old goal for Real Sociedad and then a dubious goal given to Real Madrid. But when you take front-running teams like Real Madrid, you expect the refs to do right by you as well. So there was that win.
On the Lakers or something.
Exactly. It's built into my wager is that I'm getting some advantages from the refs because the team I just bet on is horrendous. And then, Webb Simpson, USA all the way to bring me to 500. That was huge.
Yeah, so we gave out that prop, which was, just another assist from DraftKings. I'm telling you, if you're not in on DraftKings, get in just to take these types of props. Like, if you're saying I'm not big on betting, that's fine. Just come take the props.
Yes.
Come take these, these promotions that they give out. Yeah. And then, maybe you'll find a couple other things you like in there as well. All I know is every time we've taken one of these, it's come through for us.
It saves my weekend. It doesn't just come through. It legitimately saves my weekend and allows me to live another day.
And then that's where the one place where I struggled was it's because I made these picks during the cold streak, even though they didn't bear themselves out until Sunday afternoon. They were doomed the second I said them on the show when we were in Fade RK territory. I go 1-3 on my tops. Tony Finau again. falls one stroke outside of where I need him to be. And like I want to hate him for this, but he's my favorite golfer, so I
He's
can't.
your guy. Yeah, that's terrible.
So last week I had him top 20. He finishes T23. This week I have him top 30. He finishes T34. Thank God for Justin Thomas, who fires a 72 on the first day.
Yep.
And, might as well be out of it.
Done, yeah. Right.
Fights back on day 2 to make the cut with a 66. On Saturday, shoots 66 again. And then on Sunday, shoots 62.
Yeah.
He 9 under.
Fire.
Shoots a 9 under 62 on Sunday to finish in the top 10. We had him in the top 20. He saves the entire weekend for me on golf bets. So I hate to do this because I think picking these top 20, top 30, top 40s is fun.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to retire from that. I think I'm going to go just to the matchups. The matchups have done me well. I'm a little over 500 altogether on those. So I think I'm a matchups guy now.
Matchups are nice. Yeah, I've learned some valuable lessons on props this weekend as well.
I will continue to take all of the free bets that they throw at me and put them on golfers because that's fun.
That I like. Yeah, I did spend my Sunday sprinkling a bit. I got an odds boost, so I put that on Justin Thomas.
That was the Father's Day odds boost, the 50% one?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so it was pretty nice. He was at the 16th hole, so he was already tied for the lead. I don't know. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this because I was trying to enjoy my Father's Day. Didn't want to bother you. But so during the weather delay, I could do live bets on the golf. So I figured, okay, Justin Thomas, he's got 2 more holes to go, but he's already tied for the lead. That seems like a safe-ish bet. Okay. So I placed some money on that, and put the odds boost. And then Brooks Koepka was at the 9th hole, and I liked the way he was looking. So I went in on him as well. And for a second, I thought maybe that Brooks Koepka was a good bet. How should I have played this with the weather delay?
So I like your thought process. The only thing is I just knew when Justin made his run, it was just going to be not enough because we clearly saw as he's shooting 9 under that there are birdies out there to be had. And so I just had a feeling that Webb Simpson, I believe, started the day at 15 under. I said, there's just no way this whole pack of leaders is only going to go 2 under on the day. So while I wanted Justin to win really bad, I didn't feel great about it because of that. I think Koepka was a good play though, because he was playing really well. It's never fun to take the leader, in these things, even though it is plus 350 or whatever, usually it's just not fun. So I think you did right. The one that I wouldn't have advised was Thomas. He was going to have to get, the only thing that could have done in your favor is if the weather really kept up. Yes. And they had to play in driving rain and wind, and no lightning, then that would have been in your favor because all of a sudden the entire course would have changed. And that's what I was honestly crossing my fingers for when Justin was making that run. But yeah, once the weather cleared up and they were able to finish in somewhat normal conditions, you knew it was going to hit 20.
Right. And I should have thought, had the weather been that bad, they just were going to delay that till tomorrow. Or today. So it felt like, okay, it's a safe pick to kind of use this odd boost on. But in retrospect, it was way too conservative.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay. I believe that covers the weekend for us.
Yeah.
So now I want to talk to you about something that is going on right now. A bettor on DraftKings on Twitter, he's at Shea Coran.
Wait, as you tease this, let's do our read first.
Okay. I was going to get to that, but you know what? Okay. You're the responsible. You're the dad, as your shirt says. You need one that says hashtag RK Dad. Let's get to it. All right. So shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, when you use the code DNVR for a limited time, you can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. Yes, sign-up bonus up to $1,000. Enter the code DNVR when you sign up. Let them know you're part of the DNVR family. That always helps us out. And you'll get your $1,000 sign-up bonus only at DraftKings Sportsbook. You must be 21 or older, Colorado only. The bonus is comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. The deposit requires a 25x playthrough, and restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Okay. Andre.
Yes.
Over the weekend, yes, DraftKings Sportsbook user Shay Curran made a bet. He put $1,000 down on a parlay of Webb Simpson to win the golf tournament and Chase Elliott to win tonight's NASCAR race. I believe Chase Elliott is a NASCAR driver.
Yeah, that sounds
right. I'm like, he can only be a NASCAR driver or a golfer, and I know the golf is already over. He's got to be a NASCAR driver.
Right.
Okay. This wager of $1,000, which clearly this guy has some money to throw around, would pay out $311,000. Over $500,000 if he's able to hit the second leg of this parlay.
Over $250,000, yeah.
Sorry, over $250,000. If he's able to hit the second leg of this parlay. DraftKings, as you've seen with prop bets or bets that have a high chance of succeeding, will offer you a buyout. They are offering him $20,500 to get out of this bet. So for them, it makes a hell of a lot of sense. They're taking out, $290,000 of risk.
Yes.
I gotta say, well, I'll start with you. You're in Shay Curran's shoes. What are you doing?
I mean, if part one of my parlay hits, I am not backing out. Also, I'm trying to go back and think more or less what would he have got Webb Simpson? Like, because he probably wouldn't
like 4,500 before the tournament began.
Right. So he would have done better than the $20,000 had he just put $1,000 on Webb. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And then
Which
Chase
is
Elliott.
Another bummer
okay. This throws a little bit of a wrench. Chase Elliott is the favorite.
Yes.
Plus 800.
No, being a favorite, and it's kind of like being a favorite in golf, right? It's
right. It's still 8-1.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sweat out 400 laps, and it's gonna get tricky.
So you're letting it ride. You want the $250,000 plus.
I do. I've gotten this far. I'm not gonna back out after phase one of my 2-part parlay hits.
So this isn't like, you see somebody parlays all 16 NFL games,
right,
and they've got 15 out of 16, and all they need is Monday Night Football, and you can just hedge against yourself. Well, there's no hedge available here, really, in a NASCAR race, unless you want to sprinkle the entire field and what
I don't know how you do that.
It's not advisable.
Right,
Andre.
You say take the money and run.
I'm taking $20,000 in a heartbeat. Now,
it's a good win.
This is different though, because I would never bet $1,000 on just an absolute Hail Mary parlay.
Yeah.
So I know that this Shay fella has tons of money.
Yes.
And that's why he has already said he's not taking the buyout.
Good for him.
Because if you're throwing $1,000 on a 300-1 parlay,
right,
I just know that this guy's a millionaire at least.
Yeah. Right. So that $20,000
so $20,000 doesn't mean anything to him. But to me,
well,
$20,000 means a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it. And of course you're gonna lose a month of sleep if you take that deal and you lose $290,000 that you could have had. But you're going to feel really good the second that you hit that cash out button, and you are not going to have to sweat out 400 laps. And honestly, now you get to root for the entire field against Chase Elliott.
Man, see, I think you'd have instant regret once you hit that cash out. Instant. And I think like you've built your whole day, you're looking forward to this NASCAR race, and then you cash out, and it's like, man, what now? What now?
Yeah.
I had half a leg in. Now, Had they offered a cash out that was right around what I would have won had I just bet $1,000 on Webb Simpson straight up, say like, give me a cash out of 50 grand. Yeah, I take that.
Yeah, okay,
probably
so that's the number. 50 to 1 is.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they lowballed him
in that 45 to 50 to 1 range. Well, sure, they're trying to see, do you have buyer's remorse?
Well, I mean, can he negotiate?
Your conviction?
Like when there's this much money on the line, does someone call you?
Right. Yeah.
Because like I'm in for that conversation. I'll negotiate. I'm not just going to take the 20 and run. If I can get someone on the phone, I'm working this up to 100,000.
That's right. Yep.
And exactly. Probably smart for DraftKings. Well, I don't know. I just don't know anything about NASCAR, so I really don't know how likely. But I'm cheering for Chase Elliott. Here's the official statement from Shea Curran here. I don't care what anyone says. I'm riding this MFer to the end.
Let's go. Oh, man. We may have to contact him and have him on the show. This guy sounds incredible.
He'll probably be on every betting show in the country tomorrow if he hits it. But if he doesn't hit it, we might be able to get him on.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting. I want to hear the thought process. Although it doesn't seem like it was much of a thought to him.
Might be one of the toughest interviews of our careers, if that's the case.
Yeah, really ask the hard hitters. How did you pass up on 20K?
What I'd like to, and the bet is interesting because Webb Simpson was one of the favorites. I mean, it was either him or DeChambeau. So he just said, I'm taking the favorites and parlaying them in these two kind of more long shot sports.
Oh, the race is on as we speak, apparently.
And, right. It was starting
so
17th, but, you know.
What was I just about to look up? Oh, right. We got to have are you taking any KBO action tonight?
Oh, no, I guess I'm not. I'm retiring from the KBO. The KBO did me dirty in the last, it was a push and a loss, and I'm just so over it right now.
So, but we do have early morning Premier League tomorrow morning.
Yes, and what I'm realizing is the way the Italian Soccer League has set up, every week they're going to have six days a week they'll have games.
Oh, genius.
So, and I mean, that's my bread and butter. So, I'm going to try and focus on that. And I love that we have some early EPL, though I can't get a pick correct to save my life in that. So,
well, why don't you let me pick first? Because I'm hot on the EPL right now.
Beautiful.
1-0 in my last one. I am going to just ride with the favorites here. I think Leicester City had a big letdown this last weekend with that tie. I believe they get it back together. And I think Tottenham played some good soccer against Man U the other day. West Ham did not do so against my Wolves. I like fading West Ham. That was fun for me because they really didn't look like a very good side. So give me Leicester, give me Tottenham, and let's go.
Beautiful. I like it. It's great. The EPL, it's actually, we don't talk about it enough. Great parity. So we're getting all these favorites. No one's really coming in at over minus 200. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
we've seen that in all these soccer leagues, like Real Madrid coming in at under minus 140. It's beautiful.
What's crazy is when you take a favorite in the Prem and you want the draw no bet, you have to give up so much value. Like it doesn't even qualify. Yep. Leicester draw no bet is minus 375. They're only minus 148 to win straight up.
Oh.
So you're giving up.
That's not bad.
I mean, no, it's terrible. 148 to win is great. I like it. But minus 375 draw no bet is like.
Oh, that's horrendous. No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
But you do get really good value on underdogs to win or draw no bet. You know, you can get Brighton here at plus 290 draw no bet. And if you think they're going to play, a conservative game, well, then you're safe.
Yeah. So I guess I hate Brighton so much for what they did to me in that Arsenal game that I will be betting against them and taking that Leicester line.
All right. So are you going with me on both?
God, they're both so tempting. So yes, because I haven't learned my lesson. Genoa-Parma is a really intriguing game in the Serie A tomorrow. It'll be on at 1:45. Parma's been the much better team They're on the road, but we know that doesn't matter. They're a plus 250 while Genoa's a plus 116.
Wow.
I'm almost concerned that there's a mistake
Something
here.
you don't know about. Is there an injury?
I don't think it's. I'm almost more convinced that DraftKings has made a clerical mistake here. So I'm going to take that. And then we have Verona against Napoli. Napoli, the much bigger name. Verona has been extraordinary this season. Napoli, I don't think is in full form just yet. I'm taking the tie here at plus 275.
All right, betting on ties.
There you go.
What a rush.
That's great. I love betting on ties now.
If you want to bet on a tie now, man's up 3-0 against Burnley, and you can get plus 75,000 on the tie.
I would advise against that. Yeah.
All right. Well, so there you go. You've got all sorts of soccer action. I'm just taking 2 games here. Give me Leicester, give me Tottenham, and give me 2 wins. Keep it rolling. Come back with some more shades on tomorrow.
Let's do it.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for us on today's edition of DNVR Bets Daily. Appreciate you all for tuning in, and we will talk to you tomorrow.